Hello friends, welcome to Geeky Rabbit. Welcome to our series on Docker. In the last session, we saw that what is the issue related to persistent data and what are the different storage options available in Docker. Today, let us do a hands-on on volumes. That is one of the storage options available in Docker. So let us begin. So when we look at volumes, the first thing that will tell the container about it is the Docker file. So let us open the MySQL image on Docker Hub to check for this. As it is a database image, it is bound to have volumes. So just open the Docker Hub website and search for the MySQL image. So just type in MySQL and just click on this official image and find the latest image for it. So just click on latest and this will take you to the Git repository. Just scroll a bit down and this is the Docker file for this image, and if you will scroll down you will find volume mentioned in it. So here it is, volume /var/lib/mysql. This is the default location of MySQL databases, and the image is programmed in a way that it tells the Docker that when we run a container from it, to actually create a new volume location at the mentioned path and assign it to the directory in the container. It means all the files and unique data will be kept at this location and it will be there until we delete the container. It is also important to note that volume needs manual deletion and you cannot clean them up just like that, and this is an extra step that needs to be carried out. So now let us pull the MySQL image from Docker Hub by running the command. So just log in, and so I have logged in commander.net and I have opened the PowerShell window. So the command to pull in the image is docker pull and the image name. So I will not run this command as I have pulled this image. So I will just list it out by using docker image ls, and you will be able to see that my SQL is there already on my machine. So once we have pulled this image, let us inspect this using the command docker inspect and the image name, that is MySQL in this case. Now, so now in here you will not be able to see the Docker file as it is not part of Docker metadata, but here you will see in this config area it will specify the volume. So if we find the config area, so it will show you the volumes mentioned in it. So just find that and you can see in here the volume is been mentioned. So it is there because the config that came from the Docker file assigned a volume to this path when it was built. So now let us run a container using the same image, and for that just clear this out first. So as we are using the MySQL image, as we have seen earlier, we will have to specify environmental variable when we launch a container using this particular image. So let us write down the command to launch the container, that is docker container run -d for the detached mode and -name for giving a name to our running container, and then -e to specify the environmental variable, that is MySQL allow empty password, and set this to true, and then the image name. So just hit and wait for some time and you can see a container has been launched. So now when we just check this container using this docker container ls fna command, so you'll be able to see that a container has been launched 13 seconds ago. So now when we inspect the container that we just launched, we will see the same thing, that is the volume being assigned to the part. Also we can see it under the mount section. So let's inspect it using docker container inspect and the name of the container, that is db in this case. So here you can see that volumes is being mentioned in here under the config part, and also it is mentioned under the mounts part. In this way you can see that the running container gets its own location to store in the unique data on the host system. The data will lie in the path mentioned in front of the source. So if you are running Docker on a Linux, you will be able to actually see the data, but that's not the case with Mac or Windows. Let us now see the volume that are being created, and you will see that one volume that just got created. One thing to notice here is that there is no particular way to identify them, as we don't know that which ID is attached to which container. So just clear this out first and run the command docker volume ls to list the different volumes. And you can see that the particular volume that just got created is being mentioned in here, and we have an ID assigned to it. So if we just inspect the volume, we'll get the similar information about the volume that we saw earlier. So to do this, just hit this command docker volume inspect and the volume ID. So that is this. So if you can see here, the same amount of information regarding the volume is been shown in here, the name and the source and everything. It can be clearly seen that it is difficult to distinguish between the different volumes, and also it's hard to tell that which volume is linked to which container. Using a container's perspective, we can see what volume is linked to it, but it's not true the other way around. So if you create a second container using this same command, you will see that there are now two volumes created with different IDs. So let us scroll a bit up and just try to run a different container by giving a different name. And now there will be two containers running. And now if we do a docker volume ls, we will be able to see two volumes with different IDs. Now let us stop them these two container one by one by using docker container stop and the container name, that is db, and the second one is db2. And now just do a docker container ls to check the state of the container, and you should be able to see that both of them are being stopped in here. So now just clear this out for, and now check that status of volume. So you will be, so even though we stop the two containers, we will be able to see the two volumes up there. So now try removing these two containers there by using the command docker container rm db and db2. As they are in stop state, you can use the rm command, and if they are not in the stop state, then you have to use docker container rm -f. So now it will stop both the containers, and now do a docker container ls fna to check the status. So there is no container running, and if you see docker volume ls, you'll still be able to see. Also, if you remove both the container, then you will see that the volumes will be still present in there. So it means that the unique data is being preserved in this condition. So how to make this a little bit of more user friendly? So that's where the name volume pitched in. So under this, we are specifying thing with the docker run command. So now use the same command to launch a container, but here we'll specify the -v command. -v allows us to specify a new volume that will be created, or there are two other options that we can use with it. So we'll just tweak the container run command a bit, and so in here we will, after this too, we'll give -v. So there are two options with which can be used with this -v command. One of them is to create a named volume. This will do exactly the same thing that the column volume command in Dockerfile did. So we would be not doing this, so that can be done by specifying the location in front of this v command, that is var lib, and var lib and then mysql. So we are not going to do this, and we would be specifying the second approach, that is to specify in a name for that particular volume with a colon, which is called as the name volume. So that can be done by just specifying a name, particular name. So we'll be specifying db underscore volume and a colon in front of it. So now if we run this command, so a container is been run, and if I do a docker volume ls, docker volume ls, you can see a new db volume got created with a named that we have provided. So we can see that the new container is using the new volume that was created with a friendly name. If we inspect this new volume, you can see that it has a friendly name, and hence it is easy to use anywhere. So when we delete the new container using, so if we delete this new container using docker container, as the container is in running state, just use rm-f and the name of it. So name of it is db2. So just remove it, and then create a new container with a different name. We can see that is, so if we create with a different name, so just create a container with db3. So now the container is created. Just clear this out first. Now it can be seen that the previously created volume is used. So it can be checked by doing an inspect on the new container, that is docker container inspect db3. And now if we go in here in the mount session, so in here we can see the same volume has been used. So here we can see that not only this name has become friendlier, but also the source location has become a bit user friendly. Volumes can be created when you are using databases over a long period of time and you don't want to lose the information during a version upgrade or so. Also, Docker volumes can be created with another command. So let us clear that out. And there is a command docker volume create. Just give the hyphen to check in the help. So volumes can be created at runtimes or by specifying it in the docker file, but there are a few cases when you would need to create them ahead of time. So using this command you can create them. With this we come to an end of this video in this series, which was on volumes in docker. In the next lecture we'll check about bind mounts, that is the other storage option available in docker. Also, do post your comments or questions in the comment section regarding this video or any other suggestion that you would like to provide. So see you soon with more docker related content. Until then, have a great time. Thank you.